Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining into our nationwide webinar. We have Daniel Guarneri here with us, and he's going to be talking about the presentation and the nationwide family of products. But I'm going to do a quick introduction of URL for those of you that are not familiar with our organization. Before I get into that, just with a show of hands, if you wouldn't mind letting me know if you can hear me okay and see my screen all right. Excellent. Thank you. Karen, you were the winner. First hand up. Okay. So again, thank you for joining in. This is our website, URL, insgroup.com. We are an insurance agency, a general agency, but that's not all we do. If you want to come to our site, you can go to our home screen and certainly learn more about our programs and upcoming webinars, and also about URL, our carrier partners. If you want to know if we carry a particular partner within all of our divisions, you'll see the list here. And also our staff. You can meet all of us and find the person that you need to reach out to for questions. Within our departments, quickly I'll just go over our silos, if you will. Our Annuity Solutions department is run by our Senior VP, Joe Corio, and pardon me, this department really works in income, and whether it's investment or creating a monthly income. So Joe and his team, pardon me, I have a cold going here. Joe and his team do a nice job with the annuities and single premium life. Employee benefits and health plan options is my department. Self-explanatory. We do everything in the under 65 market and in the group health market, whether it's your core products or your ancillary lines. Life markets is headed up by Steve Clemens, who is also part owner of URL Insurance Group. Life does a nice job in whole life and cashback and everything you want to do for some investment vehicles. But most importantly, in the senior market, they do final expense insurance, which of course with everything now coming up in the senior market would benefit most of us to look into the final expense. And then Medicare offerings run by Christy Wilbert and Karen McDaniel. Pardon me, that is everything senior, everything Medicare. I really apologize. So with this webinar, I'm going to bail out and let Daniel do the talking. Pardon me. But when you're looking through the product portfolio, maybe look at, think of your group clients and how some of these products may fit in with your presentations coming up in fourth quarter. And I'm going to, again, bail out here and give Daniel the controls so he can go through the presentation. You can stop listening to me hack. So again, Daniel, are you excellent? We can see your screen. Perfect. Daniel, take it away.
Thanks, Deb. Hopefully you all can hear me pretty well here. My voice is a little raspy as well. I'm just getting over something, so I feel you. So yeah, my name is Daniel Guarneri. I am with Nationwide Employee Benefits, and we've been working with URL for a really long time. Deb is great, and we really appreciate our partnership with them. Today we're going to be talking about our new product called Nationwide Simplified. So it's our same products that we've had, but now it is easier, or simplified. It's a shelf-rated product, and I'll get into it as we go along here. Just my first slide is about Nationwide as a company. All of you have heard of us. You know our jingle. You're probably singing it right now in your head. You could see Peyton Manning on the TV. We have a great, strong brand. This slide just shows a few of the other things that we do. A lot of people on this slide point out the pet insurance. So if you have groups of 100 plus, we do group pet insurance. It's a really good product offering. We have a really simple and easy product. And if you ever are interested, please let Deb or myself know, and we would be happy to get you a quote on that. That's not my department, but my colleague who used to run this territory in my department is now on the pet insurance side. So we have a really good relationship there. We're the #1 writer in farms and ranches. You see a lot of that in Pennsylvania. And we also have a farm and ranch product on the employee benefits side. People ask us about that. Just wanted to let you know. So we're a great company. We are well rated by the different rating organizations. We're Fortune 100. I believe we're like 61 on the list. And we are a mutual company, so that's important to know. We don't answer to stockholders. We do what's best for our clients. So Nationwide's a very strong and good company for you to work with. As I move on here, I want to talk about the Simplified Plans. So as I mentioned earlier, Simplified is simply our main products: group life, dental, vision. Cashback, I'll talk a little bit more to that, but that's an accident and hospital plan available. And then short-term and long-term disability. So those are all of our core products that we've been selling for years in this market. Many of you go back to our Harleysville days. Nationwide bought Harleysville back in 2014, and so a lot of those clients are even still on the books from those years. But we're still selling this core book of products, and now we're taking it to a different platform. We still offer a fully underwritten product, but this product that we're going to be talking about today is for groups 2 to 50 lives who want a canned plan or a simplified plan. Maybe they don't have coverage in place right now, or maybe they already have a plan, but it's very simple. We would be able to get them a quote on this platform. Let me just give you some details about the plans themselves. If we move forward here, for the group life insurance, you're going to be able to offer a flat amount. It's going to be $25,000 or $50,000 for groups 2 to 9. It's going to be $25,000, $50,000, or $100,000 for groups 10 to 50. Now, a few things that I'm going to reiterate throughout this presentation is that these plans are canned. I cannot have too many moving parts. So those are your only 3 options for life insurance. If you have a group that wants one-time salary up to $100,000, we would be more than happy to quote that, but would have to go to our underwriting department. There's going to be some turnaround time on this. Now, the nice thing about these products, I probably should have said this earlier, is that Deb has the rates in-house. So when you send in a quote for these products, she can get a rate back to you within same day or next day delivery. So it's going to be a very quick turnaround time. Obviously, we're in busy season now, so it's going to depend. I don't want to put Deb on the spot and say she could have a quote back in 5 minutes, but it really is that simple to get a quote done. So Deb will be able to help you out with that, and she has those rates in-house as a trusted partner with us.
It is, Daniel, it is easy to quote. Even I can do it with my technical challenges, and I do offer same-day turnaround unless, of course, I'm out of the office. So
awesome.
Send them in, folks. Send them in.
Awesome. Yep, so that's great. Perfect. That's what we're looking for, and that's one of the reasons we work with URL, because Deb is so great. So on the group life insurance, like I said, it's a flat $25,000, $50,000, or $100,000. All of these products are guaranteed issue. So as we go through to the other products, just note that they're guaranteed issue. So that leads to a question that often pops up about the life insurance. These products, we'll get into it a little bit later, but can be sold both employer paid and voluntary. A question I'll get often is, can we do both employer paid and voluntary on the life? And for this product, the answer is no. Because it's guaranteed issue, we're not going to offer $100,000 employer paid and $100,000 voluntary to a group of 11. We're not going to offer $200,000 guaranteed issue to an employee in that event. So just so you know, make note of that. For this particular product, we cannot do both. If you send something into underwriting, that's what we want. We want you to offer both basic and voluntary, but note that the guaranteed issue amount is not going to be $200,000. Moving on, we'll get into the short-term and long-term disability. These products are designed to be paired together. Once again, it is a canned plan, so there are no moving parts. This is the plan that is available through our Simplified platform. So it's 60% of weekly earnings up to $1,500 per week, which as you look down to the short-term disability pairs quite nicely at 60% up to the $6,000 per month. The other things to note here is for the short term, it is a 7-day waiting period for both accident and illness, and it's a 13-week benefit. So those are things, like I said, that are canned. If the employer wants first day for accident, that's fine. We'll just send that into underwriting. It'll just be a little bit of a longer process and a different process, so you won't have rates right away. But if they are fine with this canned plan, you'll see as you get quotes from Deb, the rates are very competitive and very easy to obtain. So that 13 weeks pairs well with the long-term disability, which is 90 days waiting period. For both products, there is a 312, so 3 months prior to the effective date. Any pre-existing conditions that were treated would not be covered for the first 12 months of the policy. One question I often get, I know we're going to have time for questions at the end, but for the common questions, I'm going to try to answer them ahead of time for you. These can be sold separately, so you do not have to sell the short-term and the long-term disability in conjunction with one another. Every one of these products that I'm going through today can be sold independently. Let's move on here to our dental coverage. So the dental plan, it's not noted on here, but it is something I want you guys to know. It is a MAC plan. It's a $1,500 per year max with no waiting period. That's a pretty big deal, the no waiting period there. $50 personal deductible with $150 for family. It's got the 50-80-10, and our network is through Dentamax. You'll see carrington.com/nd/nationwide. Carrington is the technical owner of our network, but it's known in the industry as Dentamax. So if you have any questions about that, feel free to reach out. Our vision is with the VSP network, and this is an in-network only plan for the vision. It is 12 months for exams, 12 months for lens, 24 months for frames. It's all laid out there. If you have any questions, once again, let me know. At the end, there are the discounts available for things that are not covered through the program. It's a pretty standard plan. Dental and vision, they're good plans. They're not extremely rich benefits, but they are not extremely cheap benefits either. They're pretty middle of the line, if anything, a little bit above that, and the rates are quite competitive and, once again, very easy for you to provide to your clients. The last product here is cashback, supplemental accident, and hospital insurance. So these are two separate plans. Cashback accident is an accident plan similar to your Aflac or Colonial Life, how they offer their accident plans, but ours is a little bit different, and I like to say it's definitely better. The way our accident plan works, it has a annual max. For this program, it's $1,500 per year for each individual. The way it works is when you go to a doctor because of an accident, whether you're mowing your lawn or cleaning the dishes, whatever it is, you get in an accident and you go to your medical provider, they're going to send you a bill. Now, they may not send you a bill at all. It may go directly to your insurance company. Your insurance does the adjustments, and you finally get a bill in the end. In any event, the way our plan is designed is to pay based off the medical provider's bill before insurance adjustments. For example, I recently rolled my knee playing basketball. I went to the doctor to get some x-rays because I had some knee issues in the past, and I had the doctor send me a detailed bill. I sent that in with a claim form to Nationwide, and the medical provider bill was $365. My insurance adjustments brought it down to $166. I have a high deductible plan, so I had to pay the $166. My claim to Nationwide, I got the $365 because the payments are before insurance adjustments. That's important to note. Also, they are HSA compatible, so someone receiving a payment through their accident plan will not disqualify them from an HSA. The other plan is our hospital plan. That one's another cut and dry benefit. If you are in the hospital overnight for 24 hours, you receive $200 per day for that benefit. If you're running business in the Philadelphia market or anything in New Jersey, you're going to start to see a per night copay for hospital stay. This is a great benefit to pair with that. Even if they don't have a per night copay, if they have a high deductible plan or any plan, this is a great benefit for them to have, to know that it's going to help cover any costs associated with the hospital, as well as maybe some lost wages, things like that. Now, for these plans, that's within the CAN system that we have here for Simplified. Those are the only benefits that we have designed in the Simplified plan. If you wanted to receive an accident plan as high as $5,000 per year, we can quote that for you. It just has to go through underwriting. So the cashback accident goes from a $500 per year up to $5,000 per year plan. The cashback hospital goes from $100 per night up to $500 per night. On this particular platform, the Simplified platform, we're only looking at $1,500 per year on accident and $200 per night for hospital. So those are some great plans. I just wanted to do a little plug there for my other benefit levels, because this is a plan we're starting to see a lot more traction with. I think that it could be sold very well in this market, and I think Deb is on board with that as well. So you're gonna start seeing her asking you if you'd like a quote for the cashback, because they pair very well with those health plans you guys are selling. As we move on here, we're going to talk about eligibility and premium contributions. So this is eligible employees. They have to be working 30 hours per week. Once again, this is rigid. So if you have a group that wants 25 hours per week, that's fine. Send it into underwriting. If you have a group that is tougher on their employees, they want 40 hours minimum per week, that's fine. It's going to go into underwriting. It's rigid not just for those that are more lenient, but also those that are tighter on their requirements. So it's only going to be 30 hours per week. 1099 employees are not going to be eligible for these products. If you want 1099 employees eligible, send it into underwriting. In terms of the premium contribution, this can be anywhere from fully employer paid to fully employee paid. I'll get into that a little bit more on the next screen. If employees are required to pay any premium, so if it's contributory or voluntary, at least 5 employees must enroll. If it's employer paid, 2 employees must enroll. A question we often get is, what if it's a husband and wife? Husband and wife are not eligible if they are the only 2 employees. If it is husband, wife, and another employee, that is fine. If it is a father and son that are both own this business, that is fine as well. It cannot be spouses. There's another little blurb here on the bottom right as to what does Deb need for you to get a quote. So she's going to need the SIC code for the group. If you don't know that, that's fine. Deb usually doesn't ask you for that probably anyway. She'll just Google it. But if you know it, that would be very helpful. We're going to need a description at least of what the group does. The zip code for where their business address is, and then how much is the employer going to contribute, if it's basic or employer paid, or if it's going to be voluntary. So that's really all that Deb will need. If you want more detailed quotes on the disability, and I'll show you an example of that in a minute here, she will want, if you can get it, a census. That'll help her, but you don't necessarily need a census to quote this. Let me move on to participation and funding, get into that a little bit deeper. If it is non-contributory, participation requirement is 100%. That goes down to 2 lives. Okay, contributory or voluntary are both treated the same way. I just wanted to highlight that. For our other product lines, contributory and voluntary have different participation requirements. For these products, it's 5 employees. That's it. If you are looking at the $100,000 life benefit, as we noted on an earlier slide, it is going to be for the $100,000 life benefit, you need 10 employees to participate. So that's the only stipulation there. But if you have 5 lives participating, all other benefits are available to them. All right. Moving on here, I did want to show you guys a sample of the proposal. It's a little bit blurry here in parts. I tried to take a screenshot for you. But when Deb sends it out to you, this is going to be the cover page of the proposal. So I just did a sample for ABC Insurance. I put them in Pennsylvania right there in Harrisburg, and they're going to be, the SIC code is for an insurance agency. I only quoted it as a 3-life group. So you'll see the nice thing here, even though, as you'll note, we're only quoting life, short-term disability, and long-term disability, it shows on the cover page what other products this group is eligible for. So when you present this, you could talk to that. You could say, hey, I know you only wanted a quote for the life and the disability, but wanted to let you know with Nationwide's product, you are eligible for dental. Have you ever considered offering dental insurance to your employees? And you could let them know. It's as simple as a snap of the fingers to give them the rates. And actually, it'll show the rates in the proposal Deb sends you. It just won't show them on the cover page, which is really nice. It's a nice benefit that you'll be able to talk to those. As we move on here, I just want to show you, it totals up your premium. It shows them what they're going to be paying per month. And then the subsequent pages of the proposal will get into each coverage. I did a few examples here. I did life, short-term, and long-term disability. I didn't get into all of them for sake of time. I know it's busy season for you guys, so I didn't want to get in too deep into the weeds. But if we look at our life insurance for ABC Insurance that we just quoted, that we used on that cover page, based on the SIC code, you'll see that the rating factor is a 1. So that means they're neutral. So the starting rate is 19 cents. They're a neutral class, so your final rate is 19 cents. Every case is going to have AD&D on it, so it's 3 cents for that. So the final rate is 22 cents. At $50,000 of coverage for all employees, times 3 employees, it's going to be $33 a month. Okay? Now, if I change this to 25 employees and I change this to 100,000, the rate stays the same. So 100,000 would, instead of being $11 per month per employee, it would be $22 per month. So it's very, very simple. It's very easy. All Deb is going to do is put in the zip code and the SIC and get you some rates. It's very simple. She has this all in-house for you. On the short-term disability, it's a little bit more complicated. So if we put in the SIC code factor and the state factor, it gives us rates. But when you go to a client, it's going to be very, very difficult for you to explain to them what it means that it's 20 cents per 10 for short-term disability. So what we've provided to Deb is a way for her to put in information about the clients, about the employees to get a rate. And this is awesome for you going out to present, because oftentimes you'll get the question, oh, what would I get per week? What's 60% of my salary? Or how much is this employee's premium costing me? Because they're a little bit older. So what you do is you put in the census information, just name, date of birth, the salary. What that does is it divides your annual salary to let you know what your weekly salary is, then shows you what 60% is, up to the max. So you'll see here, Joe Smith is earning $200,000. Well, that's over the $1,500 per week max. So all Joe is eligible for is $1,500. For the other employees, Donald Smith, he is eligible for his full 60%, $1,154, times the 16 cents is going to yield $1,846. In this case, this isn't the insurance agency. This is actually going to be an industrial supply company I recently quoted. I changed the names, but I just wanted to let you know this is an industrial supply is a rating factor that's positive. That gives us a better rate, a 20% discount. So each industry, it's going to be slightly different. There's a few different rating factors in here based on the industry. As you can see, Pennsylvania is always going to get a better rate for short-term disability just because it's Pennsylvania. We have a lot of business here, like I said, from the Harleysville days, so we get a better rate than some of the other states that we offer these benefits in. The next page is the long-term disability. It's that same case, the industrial supplies. So you'll see the same data in here. That same Joe Smith, the $200,000 is $16,000 per month, but once again it's capped at the $5,000. At the $6,000 monthly benefit. So Joe Smith's benefit is going to cost $84 per month. Okay. Once again, there's going to be two separate pages. I put this all on one page for you, but this actually shows up as two separate pages. The first has the rates, and the second page has the data on your employees. I didn't put a page in here for dental and vision. Those are actually even more simple than any of these. They just give you the rates for employee and spouse, employee and children, and then employee plus family. And it's really cut and dry. Those are your rates for each individual class, and you can input how many people you want for each coverage. So the last thing I wanted to do here is, when are you going to want to use Nationwide Simplified? I don't want to present this to you and not give you some ideas as to how you can use this product in your everyday life here. So the first spot that I think is a great spot to implement this is when you get a health-only request. You're coming up on some 1-1s here, and people are going to ask, oh, I'd like to start offering health insurance to my employees, or I have health insurance with this carrier, can you move it, see if there's anything better in the marketplace. Well, this is an easy way for you to say, Deb, can you give me a $50,000 life quote to add on to this as well? And knowing Deb, she might even do that without you asking. Say, hey, try to sell this as well, because it's so easy to just offer. Say, hey, you're spending all this money on the health insurance. Did you know that for just $55 a month, you can offer $50,000 in life insurance to all of your employees? Hey, they might say, you know what, I don't want that, but a lot of times, more times than not, they're going to say, wow, I didn't realize it was that inexpensive, and you are going to have a great opportunity to add some sales when you get health-only requests. There's going to be times when people want benefits, but they don't want to take the time to put together a census. Well, these quotes do not require a census, which is really nice. Now, it's going to be hard to explain the disability coverages without having a census, but hey, you don't need it. Definitely on the life and the dental and the vision, it will be easier to speak to than the disability, but you do not need a census for this, or you're waiting on someone to send you the census. You could at least get some preliminary quotes. Next is, I need a quote yesterday. How often do you have clients who want a quote right now, or you have something, you're just so busy and you don't have time, and something fell through the cracks and you need a quote because you need to go out and present pretty quickly? We can quote these. As Deb said, she'll do them same day for you. So it's very simple and easy for Deb to do that. She'll get those out to you, and you can get a quote same day. A simple plan design is needed. You have a group that is virgin coverage, or they have a simple plan design in place. You may not want to go through the whole process of underwriting, waiting for a week to get back quotes, when you know that we have a good rate, a very good rate, and we have a good coverages for a simple plan design. Cross-selling PNC customers. I don't know how many of you guys on the line today have PNC, a large PNC commercial book of business, but this is a great offering if you're going out on that proposal for your commercial package policy or your workers' comp, and you say, hey, I just took a little bit of time, Nationwide has a new product, did you know for only X dollars a month you can offer $100,000 of life insurance to all of your employees? There's some really good talking points around that I want to put in your mind. With the way that our current economy is, unemployment being so low, a lot of employers are trying to find ways to retain employees. Some are offering bonuses, or some are giving out raises. This is a way to give out a raise without spending as much money as an employer. You get tax benefits for these, and a lot of studies have shown that employees would prefer to have benefits to a raise. Now, obviously, they'd like to have both, but a lot of employees would rather have good benefits than have a small raise at the end of the year. Or if you can split up that money and rather than give a $3,000 raise, give a $1,500 raise and put the rest towards benefits. A lot of employees would prefer that. I know that's a big decision. Big part of the decision I've made in the past as to where I was going to work was based on the benefits provided. And then lastly, I put here getting in the front door. So a lot of times when you want to quote somebody, it's hard to get in. It's hard to get your foot in the door. And this way you could go with a quote, with a rate. I've heard it so many times. Oh, yeah, I made a presentation for the health insurance. And then at the end I asked them, would you be interested in life and other ancillary lines? And they said, oh, yeah, but then they strung you along for 3 months. You were never able to get the information. This can get your foot in the door. Bring a quote with you rather than asking for the ability to quote them. So get your foot in the door, sell these lines, and we understand that next year or the year after, if they want richer benefits than what the Simplified Plan can offer, we totally understand that. Send it over to our underwriting department. You could even test the market. I know I'm probably not paid to say that, but that's fine. We understand how this works. So get you in the front door, sell the business. We have a strong confidence that the business will stay with us because we do a great job on the service end, and these rates really are very competitive. So I've been doing a lot of talking here. You guys might have some questions. I don't know. So my next slide is just to ask if you have any questions. I'm not sure, Deb, do you want them to type them in, or how are we going to?
Yeah, if you have questions, you can either raise your electronic hand or you can type it in the question box. We do have a couple questions. I just wanted, while you're formulating your questions and typing those in or raising your hands, I did want to just follow up with a couple things now that my coughing fit is over. For STD and LTD, absolutely you don't need a census with dates of birth and salaries, but it does certainly help to give you the calculated rates. You know, if you want to calculate them yourself, then I don't need the census, and that's fine. We are being proactive, and when you send in a 5-person or more quote, we're quoting a simple 25 and 50K employer paid life. And, you know, as you're thinking, again, of ways to fill in the gaps, if you will, I think, you know, certainly the cashback supplemental accident and hospital insurance is something to look at. And as Daniel mentioned, the competitive job market, you fill in your offerings so that you're more competitive or more attractive to qualified employees, and retention is also higher. So those are all good problems to have for an employer, but people new employees are looking for more bells and whistles, and this is a simple way to do it. In comparison to some of our other ancillary carriers or employee benefit carriers, the simple life rates come in, gosh, almost half of what the others do. So it's very affordable even for the life, and as Daniel mentioned, add products later. So there is a question. Let's see if I can get that. Does a person need to have a P&C license to sell the pet insurance?
Yes, they do. So that is not my department, but I do know that it is a PNC product.
Okay, fair enough. Nancy has a question. The participation level, is it the same for all plans offered?
So for all of these simplified products, yes, it's going to be 2 lives if it's employer paid, and 5 lives must be participating for it to be voluntary. So
Sure.
One to point out here, on this product in particular, there is no contributory rate. The rate is either going to be based on employer paid or voluntary. So if the employee is paying any portion, we're going to consider it to be voluntary, and so it still requires those 5 lives.
Right. And then Mark asks if this product or if these products are available outside of Pennsylvania, and absolutely, Mark. If you have some groups that you're thinking of that you want some rates, you can shoot those over to me. My email address is debw@urlinsgroup.com. So any of you that are looking to test the waters, if you will, or get some quotes on clients you're working with currently, go ahead and send those rates over. Those are the questions that I have. Let's see if anybody has raised their hands to ask live. No, no one has. Daniel, do you have anything else that you might want to add while we close up here?
No, I think that's it. In regards to Mark's question, when Deb does the quote and she puts in the zip code as well as the SIC, it will let her know what products each group is eligible for. So there are going to be some industries that are ineligible, and that will be right on the front of your quote sheet. So it'll let you know what products they are eligible for based on location and SIC. So
yeah, it's foolproof, so that's a good thing.
Yep. So I think that's it. Yeah, I'm good to go. So thank you, Deb, for having me, and hopefully this was helpful. And let me know any questions you might have.
I will. Daniel, I thank you also for giving up your time during fourth quarter to talk about the product. I think there's definitely a place for this within your client base, agent partners out there, and just give it a whirl. It's not going to hurt to get a quote, and we'll go from there. So with that, we'll close up. And again, thank you all for taking time out of your schedule today to sit on the Nationwide Simplified Issue Group Product webinar. It is recorded. I do have the PowerPoint. So if you want that PowerPoint, go ahead and just shoot me an email as well, and I'll get that out to you. And again, you all will get a recording of the webinar here today. So thanks again, and I hope all of you have a great balance of the week and a great day. Bye-bye.